Hi everybody, welcome to another Tech Tuesday here at TeleComDog Travel-Tech Talk. Today, the benefits and necessity of an external microphone while making videos. No matter what you're recording on, smartphone, webcam, camcorder, digital SLVR, or any other device, an external microphone will increase the quality of your video product tremendously. I promised myself that I'd increase the quality of the video product that I was putting out. And so I'm going to do that, and all along the way, I'm going to videotape that for each and every solution that I bring to the table to increase the value or the quality of my video product. I'm going to make a video about it. And we're going to call that blogging on a budget, because I don't really have a lot of money to do this, but I know how to, and I want to put out a good quality product. So before we get started, don't forget, subscribe. That's the way you thank us for all the hard work we do on making these videos. Let's get on with the show. My first external microphone, my first upgrade option, is an external microphone. Here it is. $4. I got this a couple days ago. Yes, it's better than the built-in microphone of my camera, or my cell phone to be exact. My cell phone is a Huawei 2i. It has 3 lenses, pretty good quality video capabilities. It's a mid-range phone. I think I paid $300 for it maybe 18 months ago. So it puts out a good product. My wife's Samsung A70, which cost probably $450, $500, puts out a better product, but this camera is more than adequate for what I'm doing. Probably more than adequate for what most of us are doing. A mid-range phone today does have the capabilities of putting out a pretty high quality product, especially if you throw in the occasional upgrade like this. Like I said, most of it's going to be pretty low cost, pretty budget friendly. So, first upgrade, this microphone. I have had quite a bit of practice and training in still photography. So that means I already understand lighting, how to take light, how much light, and flatter the subject that I'm photographing. I already understand composition, how to control what's in the frame, what's in the picture, to best get my point across. But what I don't understand a lot about is sound. I haven't really had the need to deal with sound because I did a lot of still photography. And for that, as I mentioned, our first upgrade is this mic. In concentrating on its sound, here are the 5 benefits of an external microphone. I think I'll stick the cell phone on a tripod so I can get a better shot of some of the equipment we're dealing with. So, I thought I'd start out with looking at some of the equipment I had. Oh, forgot about that bad boy. That is the Huawei 2i. Two cameras on the back. A cheap set of earphones. The cheap microphone that I spoke about earlier. About $3-4. And here is another cheap microphone I bought for my desktop. I don't recall exactly what I paid, but I believe it's in the area of $10. This is an This is an A4 Tech web camera. This I must have bought at least 5 years ago, and that's a pretty high priced piece of equipment. I think I paid $120 4 or 5 years ago. It's still working well, but when I use it, if it's not loud enough, I have to slide closer to the camera because it has a built-in mic, and then I'm not comfortable with the picture because I'm right up on the camera. So that one of the benefits of having an external mic. And so I bought this guy. When I use my computer, I plug this in and this into the computer. It's a USB port item. And so there you have it. So the first issue we deal with sound in video is noise suppression. Noise suppression helps get rid of all the background noise that you hear. You hear me talking actually right now. You probably hear an occasional car go by or something like that. If you are interviewing someone, for example, there's you and then there's that person, all the noise going on in the background is background noise, and that's what you need your sound suppression for. You don't want that noise because sometimes it distracts away from you and what you're videoing. Sometimes it muddles the sound. It makes it a little bit harder for people to hear what you're saying because of the additional background noise. The second item is going to be separation of movement between the camera and the microphone. If you're talking to someone, maybe you put the microphone right in front of their mouth as they talk. That way they won't have to speak too loud, and you'll get a good level of sound, good volume. If you didn't have an external mic and you wanted to increase that, you would put the camera closer to them. You put the camera in their face, and that would make some people nervous, uneasy, probably kind of freak them out a little bit, and that wouldn't be for a good interview. That's not good video. Frightened person. The third benefit of an external microphone is the ability to help you balance audio. For example, if you're talking to someone across the table, if you put the microphone in the center of the table, then the chances are the level or volume of you speaking and the level or volume of them speaking will be the same. That's a good thing. You don't want to try to clean that up in post-production. By post-production, I mean when you start editing your video after you finish shooting. So being able to put that microphone in the middle already helps. It's going to make sure that the volume is equal. You don't want one person shouting and the other person you can barely hear. If that person is speaking lowly or in a low tone or a low voice, the chances are the quality of the audio is going to be good. If they have to yell, then they're not going to be comfortable. They're not going to talk as much, and the quality might be bad. Not to mention, you may have some sound distortion. So a microphone close to the subject is really good practice. It's a good practice. It's what you're going to need to get good quality. The fourth thing to think about is the physical attributes of the microphone, the actual physicality of the microphone. Let's talk about this guy here. The black spongy thing is a windscreen. With that on there, if it is windy outside, then that will cut down the noise. The noise can be very, very windy when it's blowing on a microphone, so you definitely want a windscreen. Right here are some little black rubbery cables. What it does is these suspend the microphone inside of this casing. Therefore, if you hit the microphone down on a table, it would normally make a lot of noise, except because it's suspended by those rubber bands, the noise is going to be dramatically reduced. So that physical aspect of this microphone helps for making a video with less background noise. Hopefully your microphone is in a stable situation where it doesn't have to move much, but if you do, you don't want it making a whole bunch of clanking noise. You can see this has a device for attaching to a tripod or the top of a camera, and once you attach it, you can swivel back and forth and hopefully control the direction of the microphone. It would be nice to have a sufficiently long cable so that you can stand back and get out of the picture. You would really like, in most conditions, to hide the cable, and it takes extra cable length to hide it. This other cheap microphone that I bought, it has a lapel clip, just an alligator clip. You clip that on your collar or your shirt or your blouse, and it holds the microphone very still, and that actually makes for decent sound quality. It's not rubbing up and down against a lot of stuff. As you can see, this is a 3.5 millimeter, your standard earphone microphone jack. So if your phone has plug-in earphones, then you'll be able to use this. In this case, that of course being the jack for the microphone. You'll plug the microphone in the earphone jack. Believe it or not, technically speaking, a microphone and an earphone or speaker are very similar. So you can use a microphone in an earphone jack. The fifth benefit of an external mic would be the quality of production. By that I mean, when you buy a cell phone, for example, the person or company that produces that, they're worried about the quality of the display and how pretty it looks and how many cameras are in it. And if they're 10 megabytes or 12 or 15 or 18, they have a lot of stuff on their mind. And unfortunately, as a result of that, the microphone is going to be of poor quality, generally speaking. They just didn't put much time in it. But if you buy an external microphone, the microphone is all the manufacturer is thinking about. He's thinking about the functionality. Does it work? How does it work? The quality, when they drop it one time, will it break? The options, will it have volume control on it? Will it have different types of suppression of sound? Will it be an intelligent microphone with some computerization inside? They're thinking about a lot of things, but the important thing is the microphone is their primary thought. It's the only thing they're thinking about. So when you buy an external microphone, you get a better quality product than you would normally get using the microphone that is inside the cell phone. Here's one more bonus piece of equipment. It's audio editing software. I'll talk about that a little bit more, but it's something to consider. Sometimes you can buy or use software that will help you reduce the background noises and increase the quality of the sound of the product that you're putting out. So, with what I already know about sound, I expect to make a few more sound equipment purchases. Like I said, this I just purchased a couple days ago, $3-4. This is just a cheap microphone, wired. It has a wire. I expect my next purchase to be a more expensive microphone with the wire that is battery powered with the long cord, 15 feet or so, rigging. By rigging, I mean stuff like this to help you attach it to things, to help protect the microphone, to help make it more usable. Things that are on the microphone that are physical that will help you use the microphone is what I mean when I say rigging. Eventually, I'd like to get my hands on a mid-priced wireless microphone. Putting a microphone on somebody and not letting the cable show, the cable or wiring show, is kind of different, and it usually takes longer or more cable. And so there will come a time when I want to have a wireless microphone set up. You won't always be able. Boy, I could use some sound suppression there, couldn't I? You won't always be able to use a wireless mic because sometimes there's interference with electricity or things on other frequencies and stuff like that. So you do want a pretty good quality wired mic, but also if you can get your hands on a wireless mic set up, that would be nice. And the last item would be a dream item, something I'm sure I won't see before 2021, is multi-channel recording capabilities. The abilities to use more than one microphone. Of course, that would take more than one mic. It would take some type of mixing and editing capabilities that I'm sure I could get on with software and hook that up to my computer. Sometimes there's a small amount of physical hardware that's required to pull that off, but you can still do it on a computer, and it's not ungodly expensive. It's not like in the old days when you had to put out $500 for some equipment like that. Nowadays, you can get something starting at, I don't know, $100. Anyway, all these items, these methods of improvement I'm talking about, you can get them at a pretty good price, at a budget range, except for the last item, the multi-channel recording device. So, there you have it. 5 reasons or 5 benefits for having an external mic. So remember, if you click on the notification bell, you'll be notified as soon as we upload a video. We upload lots of videos every week, and we'd like you to have access to them as soon as they're available. That's another episode of Tech Tuesday here on TeleComDog Travel-Tech and Talk. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next video.